Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Sermon. I'm Mat Hotho, the Director of Production and Online Engagement.
And I'm Magrey, deVega, the Senior Pastor. Happy Easter, everyone.
Yes, happy Easter. And Magrey, this is the Sunday after Easter, which I guess is called Holy Humor Sunday. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so there are churches that every first Sunday right after Easter, they fill the service with levity and jokes and laughter. And there's actually a traditional, historic, theological reason for that. There's a Latin phrase that originated in the early church called risus paschalis, which means Easter laugh.
Okay.
And it comes from an early theologian who posited the idea that on Easter Sunday, God essentially pulled the ultimate prank or practical joke on evil, on the devil, where the devil thought that he had won by burying Jesus into the ground, but God got the last laugh by raising Jesus from the dead. And so that line from that early Christian theologian really set off a liturgical observance that has ebbed and flowed in its observance throughout the centuries. And most recently, including a few years here at Hyde Park, we devoted the first Sunday after Easter as Holy Humor Sunday. Now it happens to coincide with this new worship series on emotions, where we started with joy in the sermon today. And so today is a joyful day.
Yeah, and so in that so in that spirit, I thought I would show you some memes that I've been collecting on Instagram over the last, 3 months or so.
I'd like for you all who are watching to notice my face.
Yes.
Because this sigh that you're seeing is me being totally unprepared at this point to see whatever it is that Matt is about to show me.
Also, I think the funny part is that I'm still using an iPhone 12 mini, so Magrey, you're gonna have to look really close to see these. These are tiny.
Man.
Okay, all right, so here's the first one. Okay, and we have to describe it for the people watching on YouTube. So it's a picture, or listening on podcasts. So it's a picture of a child basically who drew a horse, and the front end is like a child's drawing of a horse. It's very poor. And then on the back, clearly an adult has taken over who knows how to do shading. Mm-hmm. Now on the image, it says the Bible, and on the part that has the shading, it says,
rules for how you prepare food and weave cloth.
All right.
On the left-hand side.
And on the side with the child's drawing, it
says specific information about heaven and hell. Wow, what a niche sense of humor this person has. So there is a danger in overanalyzing a joke to the point to where you just kill it. But the essential point here is pretty funny, that when we enter biblical interpretation with one mode of sort of literalist lens, you go so far with it that you start extracting things that just are an irresponsible use of the text.
Yeah, and the Bible has way more to say about how to actually weave clothes and manage what you eat than it does about literal doctrines about heaven and hell. Okay. I think that's the joke too, right? Is if you were to paint the picture of what the Bible says about heaven and hell, it's going to look like that kid's drawing of a horse.
I can't decide whether the viewer right now is slapping their knee or clicking on another channel.
All right, well, we're clicking to another channel that's going to go way deep into contemporary Christian music. Yeah, it's Michael Scott and Holly from The Office, and they are about to kiss, very sloppy. And the heading says, "Heaven meets Earth like a," and then Michael and Holly about to kiss. So you get the reference?
Yes. Actually, no.
No?
Heaven
so there
Earth
was
kiss.
Do you remember the song "Oh How He Loves Us" by John Mark McMillan?
Okay.
And it had the line in it, "Heaven meets Earth like a sloppy wet kiss."
Oh God, no.
And then there was a little bit of a controversy inside of contemporary Christian music because you can't talk about sloppy wet kisses in a Christian song. Plus, it's a congregational song, and like members of our congregation like sing the line "sloppy wet kiss." I mean,
that's the beauty of memes. Is that it creates a very niche Venn diagram.
Yes.
Where you have to know all of the different references, the juxtaposition of which creates something incredibly insane.
Yes.
And so that is a beautiful.
Yes, it's a beautiful meme. Okay, this one should hit with more people. So it's a cartoon, a single panel cartoon.
SpongeBob SquarePants. On the left-hand side looks like a man in shackles, a prisoner, presumably.
Yes.
On the right-hand side is SpongeBob, who's looking tortured. And he is saying, hey, it's Paul. Hey, Paul. How's my SpongeBob?
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Hey, Paul, what you doing? Writing a letter, Paul? Oh, God. And the caption says, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger from Satan to torment me. 3 times I. Well, who knew? knew
Right.
that St. Paul's missionary journeys included a pineapple under the sea?
Right, and he ended up in prison with
SpongeBob
SpongeBob
SquarePants.
SquarePants.
I can hardly imagine a worse prison mate.
And we're
That's-
trying to figure out what the thorn is in Paul's side,
Yes.
and clearly,
well,
this person figured it out.
I'd like to think that cartoon was inspired and it's extra canonical and it is a valid historical argument.
I think it could work. I mean, SpongeBob is ageless; he hasn't aged,
And he's kind of a thorn. let's
and he
just
is a
say.
thorn. Yes,
You like that impression?
I love that impression. That was great.
Yeah, that's my best Apostle
That was
Paul.
great. Okay, when people in the Old Testament hear bad news,
Okay, so this is from the Pop-Tart Bowl. Okay.
and they rend their clothing.
Oh, memes.
Okay, so in this meme, the Pop-Tart is ripping off its wrapping from the Pop-Tart bowl. Have you ever seen that?
Right.
And so in the Old Testament, people would rend their clothing and would tear their clothing off.
Oh, here's the problem. I love that Pop-Tart mascot, and I love what they do with it. Now, when I see that on New Year's Day, I'm
You're
going to
gonna
think
see
about,
Job.
I'm going to see Job. I'm going to see sackcloth. I'm going to see ashes. That's pretty clever.
All right.
I would call that more on the clever side than the funny side, but that's really good.
All right, this is the one that kind of veers theological, not biblical.
Oh, dear.
So
All right. So this looks like a social media post of some kind where the poster named Matthew Black says the following. The thing is, Die Hard wasn't a Christmas movie originally. The script was changed by Constantine in 336 to align it with the Sol Invictus Festival. What a pompous jerk he sounds like. Okay, and then the comment on this is from a guy named The Messianic Secret, who responds, "It was declared a Christmas movie at the Council of Nicaea. I can't believe I have to get angry about this," in all caps. God, it just shows the inanity of theological arguments nowadays.
Right.
But I will say, the question about whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie is a worthy theological debate.
it is, and it's sort of making fun of the fact that the idea of Christmas was
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
was created by Constantine.
And it just shows how worked up we Christians can be
Yes.
about the dumbest things.
Yes.
That's a pretty good one.
All right, this
so,
one.
So you see how these memes are juxtapositions of really deep things and really superficial things.
Yes.
That's what makes these so funny.
It's just fun.
It makes them very funny.
All right, so this one is probably a little on the nose, but it's Jesus talking to people in the Sermon on the Mount, and he's saying, "Some of you are sitting at tables that you were sent to flip."
Ooh, that's more provocative than
Yeah.
funny, but it's very, very good.
Yeah, I like
Very, very
I like the memes that where Jesus is getting a little frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
Those are funny.
Yeah. Do you
All
think
right.
Jesus, how would Jesus be on social media today? How do you think Jesus would he send memes? Would he create them?
I think he'd create memes.
Would he block
I mean,
me?
he's the creator.
Do you think he would block me?
I don't think he would block you. I'd be interested to see who Jesus' blocked friends list is. Caiaphas.
Who's on it? Yes. Pilate, blocked.
blocked?
Yeah. Pilate posting on his wall. What is truth? Block.
Judas, unfriended.
Unfriended. Oh, man.
Yeah. All right, this is one that you've preached on before.
Okay, it looks like Smokey Bear. He's been making a lot of entrances into memes lately. Smokey Bear pointing at the wilderness and overlooking a lake and a whole bunch of kids. And he says, "Is this the group that was making fun of your bald head? Oh, Smokey's a she-bear.
Yeah.
Sent by God to murder those kids for making fun of me for being bald." This is my favorite one so far.
I know. It's so it's a reference to a story out of First or Second Kings. Can't remember which one, but
Elisha.
basically, yeah, where Elisha's walking down a road and a bunch of kids say, "Hey, a bald head, old baldy," and start calling him out, and then Elisha calls
I grew up with those commercials with Smokey Bear saying, "Only you could avenge bald people. Only you."
You are one for definitely doing impersonations today.
Yeah. Did you like my Backstreet Boys in the sermon? That was
I
pretty
do. That was really good. That was really good. If you haven't watched the sermon yet, he goes full
Yep.
Nick Carter.
Yep.
All right, last one
Last one. This appears to be a social media post from God. See?
from God.
God does have a social media account. It's called @the_tweet_of_God. So there you go. And God says, every word in the Bible is... Here's my impression. Every word in the Bible is literally true. Then they start grouping themselves into sentences, and you've got yourself a problem.
So every word in the Bible
Every word is good.
is literally true.
It's when you put them
That's when
together,
you put them together
that's the problem.
into clauses and sentences and paragraphs.
That's the problem. God,
Yeah.
boy, God really is smart.
God really, yeah.
So we should take ChatGPT, throw in the entire contents of the Bible, and say, ChatGPT, rearrange these words into something holy.
Yes.
And then
just see what it
we
does.
get.
See what we get.
It would be like the Bible according to Yoda.
There we go. That would be fascinating.
Bible, the in created God in.
Well, guys, this was fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. If you've got some funny memes or biblical memes that you want to send to us, go ahead and if you're watching on Facebook, just post them in the Facebook comments. If you're watching on YouTube, maybe email them to me. Send them to me, mhotho@hydeparkumc.org. I'd love to see them, see what kind of funny stuff that you guys are checking out on social media.
Those comments will be monitored.
Yes. Yeah, we screen everything.
Good.
Hey, this has been so much fun. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Beyond the Sermon. We'll be back next week with a more balanced Beyond the Sermon.
No promises.
No promises, but I won't have my phone on me, so it'll probably be better. Thanks. See you guys next time. Bye.